Okay guys, I'm going to show you the knot that I'm tying on my forward facing Sonar jig heads. This is nothing more than a ball head jig with a 2/0 hook. The biggest thing you want to make sure is you'll make sure your eye's completely closed so your loop knot doesn't slip back through. Uh, you know, for whatever you're calling your jig head minnow, shaking the jig head, the Mickey rigging, pinging a minnow, I don't care what you call it, it's all basically the same thing. Uh, so what I do is I'll run my line through the eyelet of my jig. I'll turn it back around and I'll run it back through again. So now I have basically two lines out here on my jig. So there it is right here. Now you can see my jig swinging free. Then I pinch this up here. Like I say, you got to have a little bit of line here to help do this jig head. Then I make an overhand loop. As you can see, get my two fingers out, make my loop, go back through. Take your jig head and go back through your loop. 1, 2, basically 3 times. This is a jig that, a knot that we use for crappie fishing a lot. Now I'm turning it into bass use, but I'm doubling my line. Now this is what you should have. You should have your loops here and everything just like this, and you want to pull it down. Take your tag ends here, all your tag ends, and start pulling it down. Make sure you get them all even and pull everything down. So here's basically what you got. You come down, come down, come down, get it fairly close to your jig head, and then just keep pulling it tight. And there you go. Now you want to cut all 3 tag ends off. So I'm pulling this, making sure everything's nice and cinched down. I have my jig wetted. Now I just take my scissors here. You want to make sure you cut the right tag ends. So you should have 3 lines to cut. So I just pull them all down here. And cut all 3 lines. And there's my version of a loop knot. The neat thing I like about this loop knot here is it is doubled. And there your jig head sets just like it's supposed to. And it's going to give that more movement whenever you're coming through the water. That helps that minnow do the roll and helps it shake up and down. So that's my version of the double loop knot that I've been using here for the past 6 or 7 months and been doing extremely well with it. I like it because the jig moves freely on it, and you also have a double line in it. So hope this tip helped you out. I'll show you a fish catch here so you do know that it does work. So thank you very much for watching. Okay guys, you see JC's getting ready to make a cast here. He's found some fish on the forward facing sonar. He cast out, as you can see right there. He's working a fish here. Actually there's 4 or 5 fish in that school. He ends up setting the hook and catching one. You see me looking down at the screen and see that now they've moved a little bit. And you can see me starting to work a fish here. Here he comes, here he comes. Alright, I set the hook and I'm catching one too. This is on the double loop knot. And you can see me fighting the fish here, and we both ended up catching a fish here. This was in the fall here at Sutton Lake in West Virginia. You see me, I'm getting ready to swing this one up into here too. So there's just a couple nice little largemouth, caught on the jig head minnow.